Hallelujah. I feel so honored being here this morning, this afternoon. Damola is my name. I'm so excited. Thank you very much for this privileged opportunity. You know, I grew up in a home where I was made to believe that we will go to church. My mother would take us to church, or my parents would take us to church by 8. And by 6 p.m., we are still there. We are not under pressure. You know, that was what it was like growing up. A full normal Sunday service was like for almost 12 hours. It was just normal. You know, but nowadays things have changed. A full Sunday service can last for a maximum of 3 hours, sometimes 1 hour, 45 minutes, sometimes 2 hours. And the service is over. Now, the length of time is not necessarily what gets my attention nowadays. What gets my attention is the way first-timers are treated. Before, as a first-timer, they will tell you to stand up, they will sing for you, that you are welcome in the name of the Lord, and you sit down. But now these things have changed. After a 3-hour service or 2-hour service, because you are a first-timer, there is a department designed to take care of you. Most churches in Lagos, they can just, because you came for the first time, they can give you rice and fried fowl, chicken and chips. There was this young man that came from his hometown, and the first church he walked into here in Lagos, first time in a Sunday service, 8 a.m. service. By 9:45, the service was over. At the end of the service, because he was a first timer, they gave him jollof rice, fried rice, and fried fish. He said, "Is that how they do it here?" He went to another one the following Sunday. 2-hour service. At the end of the service, they gave him shawarma and pizza as a first time. He went for another one the following Sunday. They gave him jollof rice, fried egg, and fried fowl. From that day, he started becoming a first timer for a living. That was what he was doing professionally. He did not do his research well. He just walked into a church. He was doing it for about 6 months. He just walked into a church. He was not going for the word. Of course, he was going because of the things he had to get from there. 8 a.m. service. He thought business as usual. 9:45, everything will be over. He sat in front. When it was around 3:30, that was when they just started preaching. When it was 6:30 p.m., they said, if you're a first timer, stand up aggressively. He stood up. They said, follow that sister to the back. The sister said, you are welcome. This is Brother Timothy. He will talk to you about discipleship. That one talk for 1 hour. This is Sister Stella. She will talk to you about mentorship. That one talk for 1 hour. This Brother Titus, he will talk to you about stewardship. That one talk for 1 hour. When it was 9:30 p.m., his eyes were red because he had not eaten from his house. The only motivation he had was the takeaway pack he was looking at in front of him. He said, at least at the end of everything, we'll go home with something. When it was 10 p.m., he said, thank you for coming. They gave him the takeaway pack. It was very heavy. He did not open it. The church is somewhere inside Ikorodu. That part of Ikorodu, close to Ijebu. The guy lives around Daja. Ladies and gentlemen, he trekked halfway. He completed the journey one way or the other. By the time he got home, he opened the takeaway pack. He saw 16 CDs of messages, 24 bulletins of announcement. The only edible thing inside was one chewing gum. From that day, he started worshiping from a distance. As I speak with you, he's about to go back to his hometown. I had the privilege of doing an event in a part of Europe a few years back, and after my event, I decided to go shopping. And so I walked into a particular shop, and the only thing they were selling in that shop were just perfumes. So I saw this particular perfume that I liked. I picked it up. Lovely perfume, masculine and matured. When I asked of the cost, the Naira equivalent as at that time was about 750,000. I looked at the perfume. I admired the perfume. I acknowledged the presence of the perfume. I greeted the owner of the shop, and I left. I did not buy the perfume, not because I did not want to buy it, but because the cost of the perfume was half the cost of the entire trip as at that time. And I felt that was too disrespectful of that small bottle, so I did not buy it in protest. Ladies and gentlemen, as I got back home, I was driving and cruising quietly somewhere in traffic, not too far from traffic, you know. The same bottle I saw in France, I saw it in traffic. I gave my friend a lift that day. I said, my guy, this bottle looks familiar. I said, from where? I said, France. He said, how much is it today? I said, 750K. The guy said, it cannot be that expensive. Call the person that is selling it. I discouraged him, but I called the guy. Bro, how far? The guy said that day. How much is this perfume? The guy said, my guy, now 2.5. But because of you, I go give you 1.2. I discouraged my friend. He said, give me 2 bottles. The unique thing about this perfume is that to the sprayer of the perfume, to him that sprayed the perfume, to the sprayer, he is smelling nice. But to the sprayee, that is those of us that the matter did not concern, there is a thin line between insecticide and air freshener. 5 hours into the use of the perfume, he started smelling for ventilated spirit. People were telling him to get well soon. Damola is my name. Have a beautiful afternoon.
Come on, appreciate.